Welcome back to This is VANCOLOUR. Over the last few years, it feels like here in British Columbia, we have experienced many, to put it nicely, confrontational protests. There's a lot happening in our province, and there's a lot happening in our world. And unsurprisingly, we're seeing more and more people take to the street, which reminded me of words spoken by Nelson Mandela. There is no moral goodness in using an ineffective weapon. Let me explain, and let's take a moment. I'm not tone policing you. I get so much of that myself, so far be it from me to tell you to play respectability politics. Rather, in the context of British Columbia, I'm asking you, passionate protester, does your protest actually align with what you want to accomplish? Is your protest effective? Now, effective protests can be intentionally unlawful while importantly still being peaceful in order to challenge unjust laws, civil disobedience. Effective protests can be provocative, irreverent, or somber, loud or silent. And yes, in BC, I think angry protests can be effective so long as that anger is not violent, bigoted, or threatening. Attributes that most people, including myself, find pretty gross. While protests are divisive, it's an expression of disapproval, effective protests bring people together in pursuit of change, both by persuading institutional decision makers to make that change and by building solidarity with others to advocate for that change. And honestly, I just don't know how effective it is for anyone to scream something derogatory in someone else's face, or throw maple syrup at an Emily Carr painting, or block a bridge during rush hour. No matter how noble your cause, you are never going to be effective or win people over by protesting outside of a hospital. And don't tell me about the hypocrisy of people who are upset or outraged by your protest not being as upset or as outraged by the actual injustice that you're protesting because you self-sabotaged by lending credibility to your critics as soon as you decided to engage in indefensible behavior or defend indefensible behavior, which took away focus from what you're protesting and projected it onto the indefensible behavior. Again, I'm not tone policing you. But in the words of Nelson Mandela, there is no moral goodness in using an ineffective weapon. And if your protest, your instrument for change, is not effective, then seriously, what's the point? Folks, that's our show. Thank you to Dino Archie and Dr. Michael Schwant for their time tonight. We will be back next week. BC Conservative leader John Rustad will be here too. And in the meantime, find me on TikTok or on Twitter at VANCOLOUR. Of course, this is VANCOLOUR and I'm Mo Amir telling you that in a province where you can be anything, be colorful. Peace.